Welcome, Pile 1, to your reading. Going to be using the Oracle of Clarity. What's going on? Are you going to have an exciting time, a boring time? And you know, boring times aren't so bad. Some of us are a little tired of too much excitement. But we'll see. We shall see. Finally got a little more room, got my space figured out a bit, so we can do 3 rows, which is what I prefer. Alright, pile 1. What's going on for you? I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the recommended number for this Oracle of Clarity. Alright, so there is our 6 cards. We'll get these together. Alright, set this over here, out of the way. Alright, so let's see. What's going on? Oh, you losing money. Hey, you know what? Forewarned, right? Oh, merits for you. Very nice. This is Spirit giving you brownie points for doing something good. We'll find out what that is. Oh, demerits for you. Well, you win some, you lose some. It happens. We'll also find out what Spirit wants you to improve. Ooh. Someone is hiding something that doesn't belong to them. Hopefully it's not you. Hopefully you're not getting, demerit penalty for someone you know. So the Oracle is designed to show 3 levels of separation from you to your outer circle. You've got you, which is the very inner circle. People that you know, which is kind of like the second layer, the second circle of your social circle, more of your inner circle, and then the outer circle, which is at large around you and connected to you, kind of like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of a thing. Oh, gifts from spirits. So this one's directed at you. It's gifts from spirits. It can be, you know what, I'm going to be honest, spirits often leave odd gifts. Things like balloons, feathers, coins. I'm not kidding about the balloons thing. Depending on the spirit, they might send you balloons. You may see balloons near, like one day I opened my front door and this is after, I'm pretty sure I had pulled this for myself. I had this for myself, using it before I ended up getting it printed and using it for other people too. But, well, part of what inspired me to add this to my own deck too was weird things showing up, and I'm like, I did a reading and it said, oh, spirits are sending it, so I added this in. So I had this, I opened my front door one day, and there is a white balloon floating in my doorway, just floating there. So it can be any number of things. Birds also. If you see certain birds, it can sometimes be indicative, you know, a spirit sending a sign, kind of a thing. So we got a pretty good mix here. We'll get into these a little bit more. So you losing money, this is exactly what it says. Most of the time it manifests as a surprise bill, unexpected ticket, something costing more than you expected. It can mean, you know, you just actually lose cash, like you drop a dollar bill or you drop a 20 somewhere and you don't know it. But a lot of the time, it signifies losing money in some other way, spending more than you expected to, having a unexpected fine or a bill, right? Your electricity bill could be more than you expected. Things like that, or a water bill. So that's, we'll set this one over here. We've gone over that one. All right, this is also interesting. So merits for you, demerits for you. We'll go ahead and get into those. Relevant gifts from spirits. Again, this is going to be, it's going to be gifts. A lot of the time it's weird random items. Coins, feathers, balloons, stamps, as odd as that sounds. It could be intangible things, but a lot of the time when this shows up, it'll manifest for someone as a physical thing. So, but it can also be intangible. It can be better luck, well, although increased luck didn't show up. So yeah, I don't see really supporting cards for luck. This is striking me as it's gonna, something tangible is gonna happen. You could win a little money at a lotto ticket, you know what I mean? So that's gifts from spirits. All right, so we'll go with the demerits first so we can end up on the merits, the nice note. Let's find out demerits for you. I'm going to set these aside here. We're going to go over those in a little bit. And let's go over here. So, what lesson do you need to work on in order to make up for this? Start getting brownie points for, you know, these little minus points that you're getting, you know. What lesson can you focus on in order to start getting brownie points in the area that you're not succeeding at currently, that they want you to pay attention and work on improving it? And it's going to be for your own good. It always is. You know, it's not a, it's like with a teacher. They're like, okay, look, I'm giving you a negative mark for this because, you know, like for example, if it's an English teacher and they give you a mark off for grammar, well, the whole point is for them to teach you how to use grammar really well. So here's what we're doing. What can you focus on in order to, improve this area? Okay, what area should you be focusing on improving? We'll get one of these for you as well. Oops. Might need to get a protector for this mat. I glued it together myself. So, alright. What area can you focus on improving? What these demerits, what area are you needing to improve? And you know what? I kind of feel like 2, odd as that may sound. Right. Got that. We're also going to pull from the Repair No Oracle deck here for you. Repair, Evolution, and Growth. Growth, and let's go ahead and also get you an angel number advice. What's your improving advice? Improving advice. Improving advice. we will start with the chakra card. Okay, so the area that you should be focusing on improving for your benefit and growth. Quest. Indecision. Success. Alright, and you've got 1515, self-care, and soul family, strength. Alright, let me just, I'm going to grab this book real quick and double check on Quest. Has a meditation that you should ask yourself for the cards, and I'm not sure if I'm recalling Quest correctly for their meditation. Let me check that. Okay. Alright, so the meditation for Quest in this book, it's the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. Write down 5 truths about yourself. Look at your list and close your eyes. You may see images or hear a song or feel the sun on the path. Allow all sensations. When you are ready, open your eyes. Do you come to any new awareness about your truth? And it says to imagine the Navy Trail stretched out before you. So that's from the story. All these cards have a little story with them. And the Navy Trail is, in this story, it's a trail across a deadly swamp. And a woman decides she's going to set out across the swamp and take the trail, which people have not dared to take. But she's a much older woman in the town, and a young man points out to her that the swamp is gone. So she sees that her life is not elsewhere but in the here and now. As she travels home, the Navy Trail stretches out before her. You may be on a quest that is unnecessary. Allow yourself the space for self-discovery. So, alright, you got, and indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. Success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. 1515. Rest, nourishment, relaxation. Boundaries, rejuvenation, healing, and peace. It's okay to prioritize yourself and take time to rest. Cancel plans if they're overwhelming. Instead, recharge with a cozy evening. Nourish your body with good food, sleep, and relaxation. What fears or doubts are holding me back? How can I overcome them to take a leap toward positive change? Identify one area where you feel stuck and take a small but significant step towards overcoming this obstacle. Believe in your ability to create the change you desire. And then you've got soul family strength that says, finding your soul family is a blessing. You're being asked to reach out and explore to find your connections. They will feel familiar, safe, and trusted when you meet them. Send out your intention to connect with your soul family and see who comes your way. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to pull some of these for you to give me a little bit of insight into your mental state, especially regarding this lesson. Okay, well, that's it, I guess. Feels guilty. Okay. So when I was shuffling these, my intention was that I would get an insight into your mental state, the one that's affecting this. And feels guilty is what came out, so. Okay, so give me 1 minute here to get into this energy a little bit more. Okay, so what I'm getting is that your success is not getting, okay, so your own success is not getting enough from you. I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. We all have a certain amount of time in the day. We all have a certain amount of energy to give in any 24-hour period, in a week, in a month, in a day. We all have a certain amount of focus we can lend. Because for us, time is not infinite. While we're in a body, we have limits. And what I'm getting is that okay, let's see, how do I say? Yeah, okay, so your own success is not getting enough from you to happen. Other people's needs and feelings are affecting you too heavily. It's making it to where your own forward progress is a little bit frozen. It may be that people are asking a lot of you, or it may be that you just willingly give that much. The fact that feels guilty came up makes me think that it's more to do with you giving whether they ask or not. You could be prioritizing other people over yourself, and giving that, and so you're giving a lot of yourself, and at the same time you're having trouble deciding what to do for yourself. It may be that you feel your success or giving to yourself would cost other people more than you want it to cost them because of how much you're giving. You feel that if you stop giving what you are to others, they will suffer unduly. But let's be real here. Everybody has to take care of themselves first to an extent. Of course, I'm not talking about, like, you know, there's always going to be circumstances where, okay, you know, somebody medically needs a caretaker, right? That's a little bit different. But even in that case, you got to be able to find someone else to help out. Nobody can do caretaking alone, even in those cases. That's why caretaker burnout is such a thing. And finding support systems is very important, so everybody divides the load. And so that's kind of what I'm saying, is everybody has to divide the load, and everybody has to take care of their own stuff, kind of first and foremost. So if you're feeling guilty, if you keep feeling that you're going to do your stuff later, you're going to do all this other stuff first, and then next week I'll do my stuff, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. The time to prioritize yourself is now. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, and give from your excess, not from like what you need baseline for your own things to work out, right? Like, you got to take care of your own stuff, and then if you have excess, you can give from that. So focusing on yourself and your own goals, realizing that you can do your own goals now, right? Like, you're putting off your future to the future, but your future won't come into being in a meaningful way unless you are doing things in the present. So, all right, so we got those. I'm gonna move those aside now. And you know, this happens to a lot of people. So that's it wants you to prioritize yourself. Your future is now, as they say. Okay, so merits for you. Let's see, what are you doing well? What are you getting brownie points on? And this is what you're doing well at. You're succeeding at this lesson right now, or this concept. This is what you're doing well at the time. What you are doing well at. Get two, just like we did these two. What are you doing well at? What lesson are you doing good with? I think there's a second one in here. I'm going to reshuffle. What are you doing good at? What are you succeeding at? Very well. Okay. So here is what you're doing good at. Ah, completion. Okay. Death. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. And imagination, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So, I'm gonna get one of these. Eee. Sorry, I got my decks over here and some of them are falling. I'm gonna get an animal oracle card for this. The miracles are endless. Cow spirit. So, these cards can actually mean, most of the time when death shows up, it doesn't actually mean someone died. But we've got a grave here, we've got death here. So it could be that the death of someone or something has brought a lot of, well, it's never easy, but you're handling it well. Whatever this ending or death was, you're handling it very well. You could be turning to art to deal with your feelings. You might be expressing yourself in that way, which is a very constructive way. You're seeing the possibilities as well, not just with whatever, you know, oh, that's gone. Okay, well, things are different, but you are able to see the differences in not just the negative, okay, but you're able to still see the positive going forward. So you're handling a death of something or a change of something very well. You're handling it very well. You may have turned to art, you may have picked up a new hobby, you may be leaning on your creativity to help you deal with your emotions. So you're dealing with them in a very positive way. So you're doing really well with that. You're handling this very well. You're not turning to destructive things, you're turning to constructive things, and that's really, really good for you. That's actually the path to healing from things like this, as opposed to falling into destructive spirals. So very, very good job on that. You are doing very well dealing with a tough time. So that's what you are. They're very happy with that. They're giving you brownie points. All right. Move these aside. All right, merits for you. Someone's hiding something that doesn't belong to them. Let's get a significator on who this is. This is going to give us a picture of what they are like. Who's this person hiding something that doesn't belong to them? Who's hiding something that doesn't belong to them? Who is hiding something that does not belong to them? Who is it? Okay. And let's get some of these emotive and emotional state cards. They're hiding something. Tell us about the attributes of this person, mentally, emotionally, motivations, hiding something that doesn't belong to them. Tell us about this person. Give us some insight. Mental state, emotional state, attributes, motivations, hiding something that doesn't belong to them. Hiding things that are not theirs. It's not theirs. They're hiding it. Tell us about this person, please. Give us some information and some insight onto this person. What are their motivations for the things they are hiding? Their attributes, their emotional state, motivations, emotional state, attributes. Tell us, please. Let us know about this person. How can we find them? Oops. Definitely need a protector for this. Okay. Let's find out about this person hiding something that doesn't belong to them. Jack of Diamonds. Alright, so Jacks are typically somebody youthful. Most of the time it's not an older person. And the diamonds are very fiery, kind of airy people. Physically, so whenever you pull a card, a playing card for significators, it can show both physical traits, also emotional traits. In my experience, they tend to lock on to more emotional, but it's going to give you an overall picture. So the diamonds, like I said, they're all fiery, kind of airy. The Jack of Diamonds is going to be, you know, typically someone younger, an outgoing person. They can be spontaneous. It can also, so when you do bigger spreads, if he shows up next to another court card, it would indicate their child. We're only using individual significators in this though. So it's going to be a near relation. It's most likely what it's going to work out to be in this case is a fair person's thoughts, fair eye, fair hair, fair skin, or a near relation. So, like I said, kind of fiery, kind of airy. The diamond suit has a lot of movement, a lot of liveliness. So, this is someone who's youthful, lively, lots of movement, probably not the type of person to sit still too long. You know, lots of coming and going, lots of events. Ooh, they're hiding something that doesn't belong to them. Interesting. So, wants to share knowledge. Okay. Grieving. So if this is a near relation, you two could be dealing with the same loss. Lonely. And ignoring or avoiding self-work. You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna ask if these demerits are for this person. Can you see it? Yes. Yes, this is connected. So the someone you know that's getting the penalty is this Jack. Again, this is going to be a younger, lively person. It's looking like a near relation. So this is someone either in your family or close to your family. They're dealing with the same loss you are, so this is looking, so now I am thinking that you guys lost a person or a being, because it can be, well, you know, animal companions can be as big of an impact on our life too. So I say being because it could be a person, it could be an animal. It depends on your situation, because again, these are also general readings, so it can only be, the energy is going to be of a loss. They're hiding something that doesn't belong to them. So what I'm getting is that they're keeping it because it's a memento of that person or being. That's why they're doing that. They're also ignoring or avoiding self-work. They're lonely. So this person or being may have been really important to them, but they're not. So whereas you're doing well handling these emotions, they're not doing so good. They're not handling it that great. You can get stuck, honestly. You can get stuck in it, especially if you ignore the work you need to do to get past it, self-work. That it takes a lot. So this could be somebody holding on to jewelry or a collar or a tag, or I don't know why I keep thinking animal, but for some of you, I think it's an animal, but for others of you, I do think it's a person. But I feel as though, for whatever reason, I'm getting necklace, collar, something around the neck, some kind of jewelry. maybe a necklace that people wear as a bracelet, or, you know, oddly enough, rosaries are, could be called a necklace, but something, I'm getting like something around the neck. I'm getting something around the neck, and that's what they're holding on to. And it may be that someone else should technically rightfully have it, but they're holding on to it, and it's because they want that memento. They can't let it go. They're upset. And I have no idea if the other person who it actually belongs to even cares about them having it or not. It could be that, you know, people are like, oh, well, where's that, you know, grandma's necklace? And everybody's like, I don't know, we'll find it eventually, but they know where it is and they're holding on to it. Those kinds of situations. So this is a sad person. They're holding on to a memento. They're having trouble with the loss. They're holding on to it as a dear memento. They're having trouble letting go of this person or pet, and so they're gonna have trouble letting go of this object. They really can't. This is the kind of person, I can feel it. It's a pit. It's like a deep pit in my stomach. It's a pit in their stomach. It's a weight against their heart. Kind of making me feel a little bit like nauseous, like, so this is very sad for this person. They're having very much trouble. It's possible they want to tell somebody about this. They want to tell somebody that they have it, but they can't. They're stuck. They're frozen. They could start spiraling. They're not dealing with this loss very well. They're in a very, very sad place right now. So, all right. Well, it's sad, but hey, you know what? People come here for knowledge. It's can't always be happy and stuff. Drama. Okay. So let's see. I think that is it. Yep. With that, we have wrapped up your reading. And thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Welcome, pile 2. Going to do your reading. Whoopsie. Starting with the Oracle of Clarity, seeing if you're going to have anything interesting. We've got 3 levels to the Oracle of Clarity. Yourself, your inner circle, and then your outer circle. Outer circle is basically like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. People and situations that you're connected to, right? But not necessarily directly affecting you at this time. These things can always creep in, right? And affect you at some point, but it's going to be, outer circle is like, oh, you know, you're connected. Okay, well, that one came out. Ooh, 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 that is a nice one. Okay, well, kind of glad yours, oh, well, someone you don't know. Okay, so just like I was saying, this is a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing. Someone that you don't know their name, you don't know their face, but you are connected through a person or a place or a situation, a coworker, a friend of a friend. So on your most outer circle of your social circle, there will be somebody getting suddenly wealthy. So this is gossip that you might hear about. Basically for you, it's going to be gossip. Like, oh, did you hear? You know? So now these are, all right, there we go. So that's interesting. Popped out. Gonna be a big deal, I guess. And one of them flipped. What flipped? And you know what? I'll take the one that flipped, but we're gonna put this one back. News on its way to you. Hey, for all you know, you're gonna be Okay, we're a little crazy here. I usually like to lay them out and feel drawn to pick them, but sometimes they flip out. So news on its way to you. Could be about the sudden wealth, suddenly wealthy person. Stick these over, excuse me, over here for now. And, alright, come on, Betty, let's cooperate here. Okay, you know what, I need to redo this. Sorry. It happens sometimes, we just have those days. Alright, let's get this laid out. I like to do 3 usually. There we go. Alright, pile 2. Tell us, what's the weather report like for pile 2? Inner circle, outer circle, relevant things to them. Okay, we already got 2, so that means we need 4 more. Tell us about things going on with people who chose pile 2. People who chose pile 2. Alright, what are we doing here? The energy's a little bit all over the place. Try and get focused here. Okay, get focused. You. Alright. Close this up. Get these. I need to get a protector for this. I made this. I just kind of printed it out and glued it down. I didn't make the designs. The designs are from Pixabay. That you get public domain, well, free for commercial use. But the edges are coming up because it's paper I glued to poster board. Okay, so we've got sudden wealth for someone you don't know. This is going to be, you're going to hear about gossip. So when other people are like, oh my gosh, did you hear? You know, so-and-so got suddenly wealthy. You'd be like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Like, what? How? You don't even know them. Well, because Oracle Clarity told me. So, all right, news on its way to you. Divine timing. Very interesting. Ooh, divine protection. Very nice. Blank. So the reason I put blank cards in is so that instead of choosing something that doesn't really have relevance to this pile's energy, kind of like red herrings or what have you, it can choose to have a blank card and not add, you know, confusing things. Because this is a very specifically made deck. Not a lot of different. Demerit penalty for someone you don't know. So when it says demerit penalty, it means that they have been not doing well on a lesson or deliberately ignoring the lesson, and either as a natural consequence or an attempt by spirit to corral them into the correct actions, there's going to be a change or a new obstacle. There's going to be an extra obstacle in their path forward. So we'll go ahead and move these out here because these are outer circle. So this is on the periphery, right, of your social circle. Those ones are way out there. Blank, we'll set that one here. Divine timing and divine protection. And news on its way to you. So this is pretty much what it says, divine protection. It's, when this comes up, it generally applies to the inquirer. And this one too. I gotta tell you, divine timing, that one, it gets me a lot too, because divine has the weirdest timing, don't they? Doesn't it? It's all so weird. It's like they do it on their own time, and a lot of the time they do it on many occasions we want completely different timing, but it's going to do it on its own time. It's going to say, no, this is the right time for this to happen, and that's what it's gonna be. So there is divine timing and divine protection going on in your life right now. And we've got news on its way to you. Let's see, what can we use to find out the news? Let's do find out the news. What's good for news? Okay, we'll do this. We'll actually use this tarot deck. No surprise. I have one somewhere. Amongst all these oracle decks, there is a tarot deck. Surprise. I'm going to twisty twist. Alright, tell us about the news on its way. Set this over here. This over here. News on its way to you. What's that going to be? What is this news about? What's the news? What news is on its way? News is on its way. What about what? Could be anything. Not that great. These are kind of long. There we go. That's better. Alright, what's the news on its way to you? What's this news about? What is the news about? What is the news about? News on its way to pile 2. These are hiding. What is the news that's on its way about? What is this news about? News on its way to pile 2. Ugh. I'm getting a weird little chill here, feeling a little bit what is the news about? So, what is the news? Like, I'm kind of, sorry, it's taking me a minute here. It's, like, I keep getting kind of this, like this, I don't know how to describe it, like this weird kind of icky feeling, chilly feeling, like I think somebody has been floundering for a while, and okay, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, what's coming through for me, weirdly enough, okay, is somebody's getting fired. Like, I don't know what the deal with that is. I don't know if this is, but I'm just getting like, somebody's gonna get fired. Or because yeah, I think someone's gonna get fired. I guess someone at your job, maybe, because I think you're gonna get some extra responsibilities, maybe. But I think somebody has been kind of doing questionably at work. Maybe they always were questionable at work. And what I'm getting is this is the kind of situation where it's not, it's kind of been ongoing. It's kind of like everybody knows how this person has been, and they know that they kind of been wishy-washy, or what's the right word? What's the right word? I'm trying to think here. I keep thinking the word like icky, like maybe they're kind of a creepo, like maybe they've been being kind of a creep. I don't know if like if you're working in retail, this would be being creepy to customers, or just kind of icky to customers. It could be a clerk being creepy to women, or a clerk being aggressive with men. In addition to having attitude problems, having like work problems. And I'm kind of getting that wherever you're working, people like this can skate by for a good while. Like, it's not necessarily going to get you canned immediately, but at some point, enough will be enough. And it's probably going to be, you're going to be like, really? That's what they got fired for? Not any of the other stuff, but it was accumulation. It was cumulative. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting that somebody's going to get fired. You're going to find out that somebody got fired. That's... So, that's what I'm getting. I mean, everybody has their own interpretations of things. Each reader, you know, that's what I'm getting, though. That's just what's coming right straight to me, to my head. For whatever reason, somebody's getting fired. So, all right. Well, thank you, Pile 2. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Welcome, Pile 3. Let's start out with the Oracle of Clarity. Oracle of Clarity has 3 layers. You, your inner circle, and then your outer circle. The outer circle is kind of like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You're connected to it through other people, places, or situations. So this gives you kind of a far out, far-reaching perspective of energies, current energies. Alright, so pile 3. Pile 3. There we go. Get everything. Oh, and this is flipping up. Alright. Pile 3. Whew, okay. Pile 3. So the recommended number for this oracle is to use 6 at a time, and usually I will try not to do it, like for myself, for example, which is, I made it for myself in the first place, not more than like once a week, unless something is really, like you got some kind of weird energy coming in that you can't figure out if you're picking up on someone else's energy or if it's your energy. It's kind of what I designed it for, was to figure out when I had weird feelings, was whose feelings was it? Okay. It's popping up. We need to do something about that. Glue that down. Glue it down again. Glue it back. Okay. Let's go with it. Sorry, 1 second. Forgive me. Stay. And sometimes you gotta make repairs in the field. Just how it goes. Alright. Moving on to your reading. Let's get these cards. Sudden wealth for someone you know. That's very nice. Means exactly what it says. Circumstances of which, who knows? But hey, sudden wealth. Oh. And sudden wealth for someone you don't know. A lot of money moving here. Demerits for someone you don't know. Alright, so let me explain. When it says someone you don't know, this is what I was talking about with the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing. This is on your outside perimeter, okay? So it's gonna, if you hear about it, it's gonna be like, to you, it's basically gonna be gossips. There's, oh my gosh, did you hear? So-and-so suddenly got wealthy. And you can be like, yeah, I expected that. And how? You don't even know them. Well, Oracle of Clarity told me, you know, so whatever. Money is moving here, buddy. Demerits for someone you don't know. That means that someone in this energy circle that you're connected to is not making spirit too happy with something they're doing. They're like, no, you need to correct, and you're getting kind of like points off for doing what you're doing. Oh, demerit penalty for you. We will find out what you need to do in order to get more points, and I'll explain the penalty. Blank. I put blank cards in, so because these cards are all very specific, I put blank cards into the deck, so instead of throwing in something irrelevant like a red herring, Spirit can just do blank. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So, divine retribution. Exactly what it sounds like. Retribution. This is for a wrong done. If it chooses retribution versus some of the other ones, this like specifically is for, this is like for justice, for a wrong done. And it's beyond just like, okay, this is like the scales of justice or balance. This is like, okay, we are PO'd and we're gonna take our pound of flesh because we are mad. Yeah. That's what that one means. Ooh. Okay, sudden wealth for someone you know. Nice, but this one, we're gonna get onto this for you. So a demerit penalty, basically what that means is either through natural consequences or spirit putting them on you in order to try and course correct you into the lessons and direction they want for your own personal betterment and growth. It's either a natural consequence of what you've done or spirit putting an obstacle in order to try and course correct and help you grow. So let's do a draw. Whoopsie. And find out a little bit about the penalty and what you need to, sorry, I'm just looking for my, okay, so what lessons you need to focus on in order to help yourself improve in the area that is not going well. I'm going to get you a chakra card. This fell out, but we're not going to take that because that was me being kind of messy about it. Okay, well, we're going to take those because, hey, they really flipped out. Ooh, 2 yellow cards. Okay, enlightenment and prayer. Right, we're going to get an attribute card about what attribute or emotion or motivation that you have is contributing to the issue. What emotion, attitude, or motivation or attribute that you have is contributing to this issue. Okay, set these over here. What attitude, motivation, emotion, or attribute that you have is contributing to this issue. Repair, Evolution, and Grow Oracle. We're going to get a couple for you just to help you navigate whatever these issues are that are contributing to less than success. Oh, no, I got this. I don't like this feeling. There's something going on here with my... Can you know what's going to help you out? Okay. And get you one of these as well. I really need to get a protector for this. Hopefully by the next reading I'll have one to figure out what to use. Alright, so lessons to help you in this area. Helping you in this area to have better success in the things that are causing you trouble. Better success in this area. We'll go ahead and get you some angel number advice as well. Angel number advice. It's pretty background, like stars and stuff. Angel number advice. Alright, so to help you in the area that's not going well, we've got enlightenment and prayer. Lots of yellow. Very interesting. Okay, and freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Spirit guidance, co-creation. Your spirit guides and guardians are here to assist and help you evolve into your authentic self. So the time is now to see yourself as your spiritual team sees you. They ask that you remove all limiting thoughts and open yourself up to them. Meditation and asking for signs are a great way to deepen your connection. And your angel number is 3232. Take charge. Okay, so I'm already starting to see a pattern here. Empowerment, initiative, leadership, self-determination, boldness, and improvement. Take control of your life and steer it towards your desired outcomes. Embrace the shortness of life by pursuing actions that enhance your well-being and contribute to personal growth. What areas of my life do I need to take more control over? How can I make proactive changes to improve my situation? Identify one area in your life where you have been passive and take immediate steps to assert control and make improvements. Set clear goals and take deliberate actions towards achieving them. And the emotional attribute, motivation, or the emotion, attribute, or motivation that you possess that is currently affecting this area in a negative way or in a way is feeling sick. Okay. Remove all these. Just a minute. So, yeah, we got a lot of yellow here. So, yellow, I think it's kind of like a solar plexus thing, I think. Oh, no wonder. Okay. So, all right. So, these cards. All right. Sorry, it's taking me a minute. I'm kind of. This one has a story about. So all of the chakra oracle cards have little stories. This one is about seeking enlightenment through your fears, and this one is. This one, some of the stories, they strike me as kind of odd because basically, in this story, there's somebody who's like, I pray for a sign of what I should do. And then somebody dies and they take over the family farm. So it's like, oh, here's your sign. Someone, yeah, okay. I think you can see why. So I'm like, okay. But yeah, what I am seeing here is, in order to get over these extra obstacles that are in your way, and to course correct for the things that are not going your way, is that take charge. Don't be afraid to act. And even if you're feeling sick, anxious, unwell, take steps to create your own present and your own future and your own happiness. I know it can be really, really hard, especially if you're feeling sick, especially if you're feeling anxious, or if you actually are sick. You could have a chronic illness or any other kind of illness, and it's really easy to kind of get wrapped up in like doom thinking, you know, like just feeling so overwhelmed physically and mentally that you're not able to take the steps you need in order to build a future. You might even be wondering if you have a future. You may even be questioning if you're going to be here tomorrow. But what Spirit is saying is that carry on and co-create, ask for signs. They'll try to send them to you. But you have to work together. It's encouraging you to work together with Spirit and to listen to the signs, to acknowledge the signs, and to move forward together, taking those signs into account. Yeah, I was getting kind of a feeling, not a great feeling, kind of a sick feeling. I myself have a chronic illness, and I also have anxiety disorders. And when I'm feeling sick or I'm feeling anxious, it can be really hard to move forward because it freezes you. You know, if you're stuck, if you're busy wondering about if you're even going to be here tomorrow, or, you know, you get into this doom thinking it can happen, you know, none of us know. Let's be honest. Even a healthy person, they don't know. None of us do how long we have. If it could be tomorrow or not. So we have to make the most of the time we have. And I know some of us think, you know what, if it was tomorrow, then I want to lay in bed the rest of my time and eat cheese. Well, I totally get that, but let's say you're wrong and you're here longer than tomorrow. Laying in bed all day and eating cheese is not going to help your tomorrows be better. Unfortunately, if only it could work that way. I don't know, maybe you can start a channel of your own where you lay in bed and eat cheese. People will hang out with you. You never know, it could be a success. But long story short, it's probably not going to be what helps your tomorrows be better. And even if you're doom thinking like, oh, I might not even be here this long, or, you know, what if I lose all my abilities in a week, or what if this? Okay, well, all the more reason you got to make the most of what you have now, because the more you make the most out of what you have now, the better set and better off you're going to be for if those times do come. Like, you know what I mean? Let's say you have limited time, because we all do. Build up what you can while you can. Store up all the nuts you can for winter. I don't know, what analogy? I'm looking outside at this tree right now, and think about squirrels, and that's the analogy that come to my head. Store up all the nuts you can for winter in case you do have a long winter. So you can create your own happiness. Whatever you can get it, you know. And don't ignore your spiritual life either. You know, you can have an active spiritual life and get the signs. They're ready to talk to you. They're ready to send you signs and help you out. So, let's move this aside. I feel for you. Yeah, I feel for you, man. This whole feeling sick, my mental health gave me, because of the environment I was raised in, I ended up with an autoimmune disorder. I ended up with some psychiatric problems, not only because of the autoimmune disorder, but because I have psychiatric problems outside of that too. So, okay. Now this is going to be drama, all right? Divine retribution. No, you don't have to think it's at you or anything, unless you done something like, this is like when retribution comes around, it is for serious wrongs done. This is like, you would know. It's not like, oh my gosh, is it me? If you're questioning it, right? Probably not you. Unless you're like, well, I did kick all those puppies and orphans the other day. Like, you know what I mean? So, let's, divine retribution. Let's see what this is about. Let's get a significator here. What person is going to be affected the most by this retribution on the receiving end of the retribution? Who's going to receive the most retribution? They're on the receiving end of it. We're asking who is going to be feeling this retribution the most. Who's going to be feeling it the most? I'm going to get a significator. I know it's hard to shuffle these. There's so few of them. Okay. Who is going to be feeling this divine retribution the most? We're asking for a significator, basically the figurehead of who is on the receiving end, who's going to be feeling the retribution the most. Right? Who's going to be feeling this retribution the most? On the receiving end, retribution. Who's going to be feeling it the most? You know what? I kind of want to. Boy, here we go. It's all. Feel this retribution the most? Who's going to be on the receiving end? Figurehead. Who is it coming against the hardest? Who is this retribution coming against the hardest? Having a little trouble here. Okay, in the end, who will receive the most effect on the receiving end of retribution? And what form will this retribution take? What form will this retribution take? What form will this retribution take? it take? This is what form will this take? Yeah, what form will this divine retribution take? I got chills. Like, I got... Like, I'm seeing a big house. Okay. So, on the receiving end of this retribution, when all is said and done, someone on the receiving end affected the most will be, oh, Betty. You know what? There is only one kind of person that this ever comes out for when I pull this card, and I mean, okay, when I pull this card, there's one kind of person that it comes out for. And, so I usually describe them with a couple of curse words, but, trying to think of the non-curse words. Okay, basically, when this comes out for me, especially reversed, I basically mean petty, B-I-T-C-H, petty criminal, wastrel, layabout, thievery, petty thief, petty thief. Oh, begs lots of favors, but nothing returned. Wow. Usually they're so petty in everything they do. It's like petty thievery, you know, instead of versus like petty theft versus like grand larceny, right? This is usually the fact that usually they are so petty in everything they do. It just kind of doesn't amount to anything big enough to get retribution. But apparently, all right. So what we asked what the form of retribution was. Everything reversed. Wow. Alright, so okay, you know what? Attribute card. What emotion, motivation, or attribute has contributed of theirs has contributed the most to the actions that have earned them divine retribution? Okay. I'll set this here. Let's move these over a little bit so I can spread these other ones out. So what emotion, motivation, or attribute has that they possess this Jack of that has contributed to their, this is not spreading out right, contributed to the divine retribution. What motivation, emotion, attribute has contributed the most to their actions? Okay. That have earned them divine retribution. Thank you very much. This fits right in with the kind of personality that every time they come up reverse, Jack of Spades, petty, bitch, right? But dang, okay, so being untrustworthy and being ungrateful, those are the true attributes of theirs that have contributed the most to them earning, or basically being on the what's the word, in the path of divine retribution. And what I'm seeing is that they are gonna, well, I mean, the divine retribution, right? You wonder sometimes, like, that sounds like a serious thing, and it is, because for everybody, things hit differently for each person. But basically what's going to happen to this person is they are not going to get away with this SHIT anymore. They're getting kicked out of a group. They are getting kicked out of a group, out of a social group that they belong to. And it's not even going to be like, oh, one person said, like, everybody's going to get tired of them. Everybody's going to get tired of them. And they're getting kicked out. They're getting ostracized. Now, this doesn't mean that it has to be like, you know, it might not be like, you know, where the Klingons kick you out, everybody shows up to a meeting and turns their back on you. It may not be that dramatic, but the result is going to be the same. They're getting kicked out of an entire group, an entire social circle. Nobody's going to deal with them anymore. They're going to have to move on somewhere else. And this actually might really depress them. Isn't that funny? Because people like this, you just think they don't care about nothing, because the way they treat people, because how it doesn't seem like they care about anyone else, doesn't seem like they really care about anything in general. Because how could you care? How could you give a SHIT about anything and be like that? Be so ungrateful, so untrustworthy. But you do it enough, people are going to figure it out. And whatever group they're in, people are going to figure it out. And it's actually going to be really upsetting to them. They're actually going to be really upset about losing this group. So, divine retribution, it means they're going to come in, and so people may have been having the wool over their eyes. And they may have really finally just wronged the wrong person. They may have just messed with the wrong one. And by wrong one, I mean somebody who has a good connection with the spirit world and the divine. And their guides may have been like, hold up, listen, and gone straight. You know, they're like, oh, from your lips to God's ears or whatever. Well, they may actually have a good relationship with somebody who can get the ear of the divine forces and be like, look, dude, my buddy, my friend here on the earth plane, right? This person did them so wrong. I am so mad. give us something. You know what I mean? Like, look at all this other stuff they're doing. It's not just them. You know, I'm going to petition. I'm going to get other spirit guides in on this. But you know what, buddy? My friend on Earth, they just got done so wrong. You will not believe this, Petty. B-I-T-C-H, what they done. So, yeah, they messed with the wrong one. And they're getting kicked out of an entire group. But this person, they are a petty, B-I-T-C-H. They will steal, they will do petty crimes, they're a layabout, they're a wastrel, they are untrustworthy and ungrateful. So, that's the drama. So now you know, man, now you know. Alright, well, thank you, Pile 3. I will see you next time.